Are youth in the house? I'm not feeling the vibe. Good morning, everybody. When I say youth, you say connect. Youth? Youth? Okay, everybody. My name is Mariam Sharif. I'm from Sierra Leone and also a proud advocate from Sierra Leone. And I would like to introduce the guest speaker for today. So, guys, I'm honored to be here today. I'm here to invite no less the person, but Honorable Ibrahim Barry is a selective member of Parliament in Sierra Leone and one of the youngest official ever to join the country legislature. He served as a member of Youth Committee in the Parliament, Sierra Leone. He is also 2021 Mandela One-Shitty Fellow and also Commonwealth Scholar in the United Kingdom. He's not left. Honorable Ibrahim Barry is also a lecturer research and policy at the University of Makeni. So I would like to call Honorable Ibrahim Barry to the stage. You know, I used to call him my Julius Malema.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Let me use this opportunity to welcome you all to this great session where we will explore the role of young people in harnessing agricultural development in Africa. As we know, the young people, we have an advantage. We are the youth bulge, and we have to leverage that. We've heard from exceptional leaders over the past 2 days, and we have a lot of potential to leverage. So in this session today, we are going to look at agriculture, agri-food systems, and the role of young people. We have distinguished panelists from Sierra Leone that will join us, innovators, entrepreneurs, who will join us to share experience and perspective in line with the topic. But before that, let me use this opportunity to welcome our keynote speaker for this great session today. Our keynote speaker is a young leader who has been trusted by His Excellency, the President of our country, to lead the youth ministry. He is the Deputy Minister of Youth Affairs in Sierra Leone. He has contributed to a lot of private sector development and international partnership, and today, as part of the leadership in the Ministry of Youth, he is working with development partners to ensure young people in Sierra Leone achieve their full potential. And he is leading this delegation. But before introducing him, let me also use this opportunity to acknowledge our partners. We have partners with us, the UNDP partners, thanks to UNICEF, thanks to SOS, and to the entire Sierra Leone delegation. You are welcome. Ladies and gentlemen, join me to welcome the keynote speaker, Deputy Minister of Youth Affairs from Sierra Leone, Mr. Patrick Michaelson Gibrilla.
House. Are there youth in the house? Are there youth in the house? Good morning, young people of this great Youth Connect 24. It's always a pleasure to speak to young people in a forum like this, because this is where we network and know ourselves better and ensure that we stand for what is right. Africa stands as a critical junction as it stands in the history, with a rapid growing youth population that present both challenges and opportunities. As a continent, we grapple with pressing issues such as food security, as we will be talking about food security here, and economic development. It is a crucial economic development to harness the potential of the demographic dividend to achieve inclusive growth By empowering Africa youth and creating an enabling environment, we can transform the continent's food system and unlock its economic potential. Africa's food system faces multifaceted challenges, including limited access to modern agricultural practice, inadequate infrastructure, and lack of inclusive policy for young people. However, with the challenge lies tremendous opportunities that can be achieved through investment in education, vocational training, entrepreneurship programs that tailors to agriculture sector. By equipping young people with the skills and knowledge necessary for success in agro business, they can become agents of change and innovation. Governments, in collaboration with private sectors and civil society, can enhance the provision of comprehensive as well as accessible education as well as training program that lies with the needs of labor market by incorporating practical skills and a model agricultural technique into the curriculums. Young people can develop an appreciation of farming sustainably, market linkage, and the value chain management as well. Ensuring adequate access to resources is critical for inclusive growth. Financial institutions and governments should establish mechanisms that provide affordable credit and access to land for young farmers. This is actually lacking in Africa. Many young Africans face significant challenge in accessing capital due to limited collaterals and financial literacy. To address this, innovative financing models such as microfinance, better finance initiative can be employed to provide young farmers with necessary capitals to start and scale their agricultural enterprises. Furthermore, it is essential to promote sustainable agricultural practices through policies that include youth-led initiatives in conversations, organic farming, and climate-smart agriculture. By incorporating environmental consideration into policies framework, governments can encourage young farmers to adopt sustainable practices that protect natural resources, enhance resilience to climate change, and contribute to overall well-being of our communities. In addition to inclusive policy, participatory government is crucial for youth engagement. Government should actively involve young people in decision-making processes, providing platform for the voice to be heard. Youth advisory board should be set up in Africa, consultative forums in Africa, mentorship between the policymakers and the youth and the young agro enterprise, ensuring that policies are designed and implemented in a manner that reflects the aspirations and needs of young people in Africa. Harnessing Africa youth dividend require collaboration between government, civil society, private sectors, and the international organizations. These stakeholders can join forces to provide mentorship, capacity building programs, investment opportunities for young agripreneurs, private public sectors, that's the PPP, can promote the transfer of knowledge, technology, and expertise, fostering innovations and entrepreneurship in the agro sector. By leveraging the strengths and resources of various actors, comprehensive support system can be established to empower young farmers and agripreneurs. International organizations and donor agencies also play a crucial role in supporting youth-led initiatives by providing funding, technical assistance, and networking opportunities. They can facilitate access to resources and markets for young agripreneurs. Collaboration between African countries and international partners can also foster knowledge exchange and innovation, promoting adoption of modern technology and best practice around Africa continent. Active contribution of young people to harnessing the potential of Africa youth for inclusive growth. We invest in education, training program that tailors to agricultural sector, equips young people with the necessary skills for agro businesses. Additionally, let me advocate for affordable credit and land reform policies to ensure young farmers have access to resources. By embracing digital technologies, we empower young agropreneurs to overcome barriers, because this also is a challenge in Africa. Let us involve young people in ensuring that partnership creates an enabling environment for youth engagement, transforming Africa's food system and unlocking economic potentials. One such initiative through which the agro supports young agropreneurs is the General Africa programs that needs to be designed for young people. I call on the actors in the room and around the world that programs that will befit the young agropreneurs should have been done like yesterday. So it is now a call of urgency to actually go into the place. Through this General Africa programming that I am calling Africa leaders to harness, youth should be offered the mentorship that is needed, funding opportunities, and access to networking. It is key in our society today. This will enable us, the young people, develop their ventures and contribute to sustainable agricultural development in Africa. As I round up, let us talk about the youth ecosystem development framework that has the assessment and stakeholders engagement by connecting young agropreneurs with resources and support in enabling the next generation of agricultural leaders, driving economic growth, creating a more inclusive and sustainable future of Africa. Africa youth population holds immense potential to drive inclusive growth and transform the continent's food system by investing in education, facilitating access to resources, implementing inclusive policy, fostering partnership. Africa can empower its young population to become the driving force behind agricultural innovations and economic development. Through such efforts, Africa can secure its food future, create sustainable livelihood, and unlock the full potential of its youth demographic dividend. It's time to embrace the Africa youth and work together towards a prosperous and inclusive future. By investing in the potential of its young people, Africa can lay the foundation for the flourishing continent that befits all its inhabitants. In closing, the Africa we want to see, Africa Agenda 2063, cannot be achieved without the involvement and the approval of the most human resource of Africa, which is the youth. We, as young people, we are part of a journey that is greater than us. Let us hold ourselves. Thank you.
All right. Thank you so much. Again, he deserves a huge round of applause. We are all here in these 3 days to take home some fundamental tools. And these are the tools that we are taking. One, he says, by empowering African youth, we can enhance sustainable agriculture and food security. The minister acknowledged that young Africans lack access to resources and tools needed to scale up. He therefore called that for global leaders to help succeed in enhancing agriculture sector in Africa, especially among people, that we need to enhance the Sustainable Development Goal 17, which is partnership for the goal. And the keynote speaker concluded that we can only achieve Agenda 2063, the Africa we want, if we place young people at the center of development. Thank you so much for that. I welcome those that are coming in, and I want to encourage that we take the front seat so that we get the best out of this session. Kindly, please, those at the back, let us try to come to the front seat. Now the program, we will now introduce the panelists. These are very young, smart, hardworking Africans, specifically Sierra Leoneans, who are not out there to search for jobs, but they are exploring ways and means to create jobs. These are young Sierra Leoneans who are innovating, contributing towards addressing the development gaps in our country, specifically related to the problem of food security. I will start with the first panelist, who is Ambassador Ousmania. He is a Sierra Leonean entrepreneur and a social impact leader. He is the Presidential Innovation Award winner of His Excellency the President Julius Maada Bio's Agricultural Innovation Challenge 2024. Let's put hands together as he comes up to the stage. And he is the founder and chief executive officer of Auto Smart Irrigation Company Limited in Sierra Leone. You are welcome, Usman. As you can see, he is very young and not there to search for a job, but exploring ways to support other people. Our next panelist is a young female entrepreneur. Is a leader in science, technology, and education, and she is a founder of the Sierra Leone's first youth-led and youth-owned innovation center called the Kamara Yoki Innovation Center, with 11 plus years in community development. She empowers young Sierra Leoneans through technology, innovation, and digital skills. Her work has won a national and international recognition, including the Best Youth Innovator, Excellence in Youth Innovation, and the U.S. Alumni Impact Award. Ladies and gentlemen, help me welcome Hawa Yoki, a leader from Sierra Leone. Hawa Yoki is one of the young female leaders doing exceptionally well in Sierra Leone to empower young people. Our next panelist is someone who has contributed a lot in working towards enhancing the agricultural food sector in Sierra Leone. His name is Martin Denbakiu Kui, and he is the founder and CEO. He is the founder and CEO of an eco-friendly, rechargeable incubator and a local animal feed processing company in Sierra Leone. He has won numerous awards and recognition. He won the UNDP Accelerator Program, second prize winner 2020. He won the Africa Generation Go-Gart Competition First Impact Award winner 2023. He won the Feed International Excellence Award Second Prize winner 2022. He won the FAO Green Job Innovation Project Award 2023. He won the Agriculture Innovation Challenge National Second Prize winner 2024. Ladies and gentlemen, help me welcome Martin Demba Kui. Thank you, gentlemen and lady. We are very proud of you. As you can see in the room, we have colleagues from all over Africa who are here to listen to you, to know your contribution in the agriculture sector, to know the successes, your strategies, and to also explore the needed recommendations and solutions. So the format, it will be 3 rounds, and then we will allow the audience to ask you questions, and then we close. So we are starting with round 1. The 3 rounds, the first round will focus on youth role in agriculture. The second one will look at innovative practices and government support. The third one will look at overcoming resource challenges and leveraging technology. So let me start with you, Ambassador Ousmania. Ambassador, how do you see the role of youth in transforming the agricultural landscape in Africa?
Thank you very much, Mr. Moderator. And thank you, everyone, for joining us. I think it's an amazing opportunity to see young people representing their countries and their fellow young people on panels like this. Now, let me go straight to your question. I think the role of young people in agriculture is the most crucial one currently in the world, because for far too long, My dad is a farmer. My mom is a farmer. They used to grow crop only during the rainy season. Why? Because they're not exposed, they're not informed of modern practices on how they can increase on that productivity. So in fact, this even contributed to causing malnutrition, even hunger in our own family. And I will tell you, this is a story of thousands, or if possible, millions of households and smallholder farmers in Africa. So I think, looking at the pace of the world, which is drastically moving now, I think with access to technology and all these things, I think young people are the great tool, to make use of these technologies, to make sure we are able to produce enough food, to make sure we are able to transform the food system, to make sure we are able to, add value to what our parents, our fathers and mothers have been doing for decades now. So I think the young people is not just a role, but it's a responsibility, because I see that young people comes with the knowledge, the skills, and the technique to make sure that we are able to transform our food system. And to start with, I think it all begins with critical thinking. So young people have that energy of critical thinking. Like, how can we look at current practices of farming, and then we ask questions like, how can we make this better? And we are exposed to these things. We are exposed to internet, we are exposed to technology, we are exposed to opportunities. So I think it's just a matter of how and when you as a young person should start working on something that could help transform the food system. So I think youth are at the pivotal point in making sure that Africa is able to feed itself. When I look at the importation data a few months ago, I was shocked, where Africa is importing not less than $1 billion worth of foodstuff. That's just rice. What is this telling us? It's telling us that we need to step up as young people to make sure that we're able to cut this importation down, to make sure that the future is free of hunger, and we are also able to help achieve the UN Sustainable Development Goal 2, which is zero hunger by 2030. And we cannot achieve that without the involvement of young people. Our parents have done theirs, and I think it's our time as young people to bring more mechanism, more new ways, to bring more technique, to increase on that. If our parents are just farming one time a year, why can't we make it 3 times? Why can't we invent new things? Why can't we create more devices that could increase on that 10 times? And I think with the involvement of youth and with critical thinking, networking, and innovation, the young people will be at the pivotal point in achieving food security and a sustainable Africa free of hunger by 2030. Thank you.
Thank you so much. We'll come back to you where you'll share your experiences. And then I think the key from what you said is that young people are the greatest assets that we can leverage to ensure we succeed in achieving Sustainable Development Goal 2, which is to end hunger in all its forms. I'll come now to you, Leader Hawayuki, with examples of what you are doing in Sierra Leone. Again, what do you think is the role of young people? Drawing on your example, your own strategy, what do you think will be the role of young people in achieving food security? Press 1.
Thank you so much. Good morning, young people. Are we tired? I'm not feeling the energy. Are we tired? Are we hungry? Did we skip breakfast? I heard somebody say yes. Okay, so we'll use the energy for breakfast. Good morning, young people. Okay, so my name is Hawayuki. I am 23 years old, and I'm from Sierra Leone. I did not begin in agriculture. I had no idea what agriculture was when I was in Sierra Leone. I didn't even get the opportunity to learn about agriculture in my primary school. And so when I was 14, I developed a technology because young people were telling me that there's a shortage of storage facility because there was no electricity. And so I built a technology by combining solar energy and wind energy that powered 50 houses in a community that was focused on agriculture. So that was really how I started my work in innovation and providing solutions for agriculture. When I was 16, I developed a technology for preservation as well in food security that won the UNDP Social Good Summit Award in 2018. So that technology basically is now serving over 5 communities that are using it for fish preservation, fresh fruits, and fresh vegetables. So why am I bringing this? This just shows how important young people are in solving solutions or in solving problems that are affecting Africa. And when you look at the population of Africa, young people are leading. We have about 60% of the population that are young people. You talk about in innovation in health, we have young people. Innovation in agriculture, we have young people that are currently leading there. You look in the transport system, we have young people that are currently leading there. And so this just shows that young people bring new perspective, they bring new energy, and they bring new ideas to local problems and local solutions. What I can say is what can work in Sierra Leone might not work in Nigeria, might not work in Ghana, might not work in Africa, in South Africa. But what can work is how we can be able to share ideas, how we can be able to share the resources, and how we can be able to help build each other up. So these are the things that really young people bring in the agricultural sector. And Africa is very rich in soil content, nutrient, and for Sierra Leone, for example, about 57% of the country population depends on agriculture. And in that 57%, over 70% of those that are in agriculture are young people, women, girls, and the youth. So this just tells us that there is a demand or there is a need for young people to lead in these practices. So as the moderator mentioned, that I co-founded the Kamayoki Innovation Center, which is the first youth-led and youth-owned innovation center in Sierra Leone. And one of the things basically that we do is we try as much as possible to empower young people in high school and then the youth that are in college or in campuses in digital technologies, when you talk about robotics, when you talk about electronics, coding, programming. And we have been able to actually innovate a system that is currently operating in the high schools, which is hydroponics. This idea was brought to us by young people who built these things from recycled materials. And this is currently operating in over 4 schools, serving about thousands of high school students, contributing to the Sierra Leone school feeding program. So this, again, for me, shows that young people have the ideas. They have means and ways, irrespective of the challenges that we are facing. I feel like we have moved from the point where we're always talking about challenges, we're always talking about problems. I feel like now we're in a point where young people are taking the responsibility to solve issues that they are facing. And for us, that is one of the key projects that we're really, really, really proud of. And this has been going on since 2022. And another thing again that I'm really proud to say is young people are not only finding solutions for themselves, but they are also trying to see how they can be able to connect with other young people across the continent. For example, for us at the center, we are currently working with a Nigerian institutions that are doing cassava importing. So for Sierra Leone, for example, we are very big when it comes to cassava planting, and it's the same thing that's happening in Nigeria. And now we have young people that have created or a technology that basically connects farmers in Sierra Leone to farmers in Nigeria. So these are just examples of how young people are really taking up the role and the responsibility to really contribute to things that are happening in their community, in their society, but also linking each African countries. We have seen it happen in China, we have seen it happen in the Asian countries. Now we are seeing that change or that move happening in Africa, where young people are not only complaining, but they are also complaining with solutions. So, and we have amazing networks that we have been using, and the young people that have been using, I know most of us that are here, we have connected, and we're taking that connections to our country and make something out of it. So I'm really proud of the era that we are, and I'm really I'm hopeful, and I'm hopeful really to see what the future is. I'm really happy that we are now taking issues in our own hands and solving problems here in Africa. Thank you.
Thank you so much. I think before we go to the next speaker, she deserves a huge round of applause. Look at her. At the age of 14, she developed a technology to address a particular gap in our society. And then I like something she said, that young people not only find solution now, but we should explore partnership. And then she mentioned that young people should complain with solutions. That is key. We should not just complain, but complain with solutions. And I believe that's the more reason we are in this room today. Our leaders are here, our partners are here. Let us complain with solutions. So before I go to the next speaker, I encourage you to note down your questions. Martin, you've done extensively well in the agri-food sector in Sierra Leone. You've won numerous awards. We'd like to hear the strategies. What do you think the role of young people in the agricultural sector, drawing on your strategies, your examples and models?
And thank you very much, and Mr. Moderator, for this great opportunity. And all I want to say to the youth, and for us to be as an entrepreneur in all over Africa, the youth need to be one of and they need to have the capacity to leverage themselves, to know the technical and know-how, especially in Sierra Leone, as an inventor and developing more rechargeable incubators. And as an inventor, we started first in 2020. We developed rechargeable incubators. But through the support of the UNDP Accelerator Lab, at first I want to thank them for their great support, and also my government, what is doing for the entrepreneurs. And you need to know that developing yourself is part of the improvement of the world and Africa as a whole. Because when we start an innovation project 2019, we started our project. We first developed the prototype of our rechargeable incubators. But we know the incubators is one of the challenges, because an importation in Sierra Leone was so high. So during the COVID-19 outbreak, there was not functioning incubators in the country. So we sit as an inventor, and we developed rechargeable incubators. The rechargeable incubators that we developed, rechargeable incubators is, let me say, one of the key challenges, but also how to have access to fatter eggs. So we develop our own locally made crossbred chickens to enhance fatter eggs, so that farmers can have their own rechargeable incubators and hatch their own day-old chicks. And what again I want to say to the youth again, if the youth have the capacity to work towards entrepreneurship in the country, and the government needs to support them, and also to push them forward, for them to have the brain, so they can work towards the society. And also the youth need to have connection to each other, because some youths do not have the potential to to connect to each other, because when you connect to each other, you can benefit the society and also improve in nutrition and food security in the country. Especially, and one in the UNDP Good Summit is because of the potential and also the youth technical knowledge that I have that make me to win the Impact Award at the Go Getters in 2023. And also the Innovation Agricultural Tech and Program in Sierra Leone that my president, His Excellency Brigadier Julius Madabio, and the summit was, through the summit, I won the second presidential award. This is not about just talking around or what. You should know that the youth have the potential. The youth should have the capability to work so that they can push you. If government or the NGOs are pushing youth to have the knowledge, to have the potential for them to see the beneficial and the crucial economic of agriculture, always they need to be together and have the knowledge. So, Mr. Moderator, thank you very much.
Thank you so much. After hearing from them from the first round, I guess we will not be surprised about the numerous awards that they have received both at local and international level. These are young people who are creating jobs, exploring opportunities to address development gaps, specifically in the agri-food chain industry. Let us now go to another topic. You've shared your experiences. Now we want to look at innovative practices and government support. What are some of the innovative practices that you can suggest, and what are the government supports in enhancing the role of young people in the agri sector, and what also will be some of your recommendations? So, Ambassador Usman, I think we just need, let's start with innovation. What innovative practices? We've seen your stories. These are all innovative strategies. And we want now to cascade so that others can learn and also try to innovate. So what innovative practices are emerging in the agri-food sector, and how do you think this can be scaled up?
Okay. I think this is not a matter of question, it's a matter of reference. Because why am I saying this is that there's a lot of work already going on. I've seen thousands or even millions of young agripreneurs in Africa currently. In my country alone, we have good number of agripreneurs who are leveraging on technology currently as I speak, in making sure that they're able to contribute to the government vision. 2 years ago, in our government second term, a year ago, sorry, the government prioritized as part of its flagship program that the country must be able to feed itself. Imagine a country importing not less than 450 million worth of rice. The government has made agriculture as its priority in its second term, and it made an announcement and a pledge that Sierra Leone must feed itself in its regime. This is a big tax, but it's possible. The time is small, but it's possible. Why? Because we are exposed to the opportunities, we are exposed to the technologies, we are exposed to the young people who have these tools, because they are the drivers, they have these tools to make sure that we are able to achieve that vision of the government. A lot of work has been put in place. The Ministry of Agriculture, led by Mr. Musa Paka, is an amazing man who, have a diverse background in agriculture, and he has made some tremendous impact so far. As I speak currently, my country has, through the involvement of young people, technology, and things like that, our country has cut down on importation by 20% in just a year. I think this is a huge milestone, and we are going to get there. When the government made that announcement, people said, hey, are you going to feed every household? And people were like, are you going to, like, everybody will bring a plate and then you put food for everyone? But no, that was not the answer. What was the answer? That in every household, there should be a mechanism, a way of contributing in making sure that the country is able to produce that food to feed you. It was a question to the young people, agripreneurs, technologists, or whatever. It's a question to all of us. How can we make sure that that vision is achieved by the government? And as the moderator mentioned, in 2014, I thought of a solution to help farmers to farm year-round. Like I said in my first statement, my mother is a farmer. She used to grow rice and vegetables, and we survived through that. But you were surprised that during the dry season, there was a formula we have in our family, which is 4 versus 7. You know what 4 versus 7 means? During the raining season, we eat like 7 cups of rice. And during the dries, that drops to 4 cups of rice. Yes. Why? There was a gap. And because of that gap, that was a reason that the country was not able to feed itself. So how can we solve this gap? Through the involvement of technology, like you said, Mr. Moderator. We should think model way of practices in agriculture. And the work I've started. In 2022, our technology was tested by UNDP as a related lab and the Directorate of Science Technology on 3 acres of land. We were able to empower 15 smallholder farmers. Those farmers were vulnerable farmers and to climate change and things like that. And they were not even able to feed themselves. And here is the data. 75% of the country population are farmers. But they can't able to feed themselves. What's the problem? There was a gap. So, these farmers are now able to produce enough food for themselves, and now they are able to empower themselves and also sell out. Last year, we scaled on 5-acre land. And then we empowered another 15 smallholder farmers. Now these farmers are not only able to feed themselves and achieve food security for themselves and their families, but they are now impacting, they are now supporting their kids to schools and things like that. And then when the government prioritizes agriculture, it puts young people at the forefront to make sure we achieve that. It made a pledge of $30,000 US. I think this is the biggest award I've ever seen in Africa, where a government commits such amount of money to support young people. His Excellency, retired Brigadier Julius Madabio, did that. He committed $30,000 from his own pocket and say, I need a bold solution that will help contribute in achieving my vision. There were over 500 applicants across the country. That alone shows how young people are ready. Imagine there was a call and we had over 500 young people with bold solutions to help solve the food challenge in our country. And I think this is also all over the continent. Among these, I emerged as the winner, the grand prize winner of that $30,000. I was presented the check by the Prime Minister, Honorable Chief Minister Dr. Mwenina Senge. He was here a few months ago together with the Minister of Agriculture. It was on the same topic at the food system, like how Sierra Leone is ready. And I also believe that Africa is ready to make sure that we are able to feed ourselves.
Right.
Because this is a simple logic. And I have a question.
Thank you. We'll come back to you, and then you will guide us through the suggestive recommendations for governance intervention. Okay. I think you've heard from him. The government of Sierra Leone has made agricultural sustainability flagship program, which we call the Feed Salon, to achieve food self-sufficiency and the critical role of young people. So coming to you, Hawa, with your experience, your expertise, you've benefited and you are aware of some of the gaps. What do you think specifically government can do to ensure young people leverage technology in agriculture?
Thank you so much. I think we currently have a president that not only believe in young people, but also giving our young people the opportunity to lead and also to serve. I think that's something that I'm really, really proud of. And as a young person, I see Sierra Leone leading in that space. And when His Excellency was elected, he gave us 5 big changes that he was going to focus on. One was the Fit Salon flagship program. 2 was youth employment. And 3 that I'm really proud of is technology and infrastructure. So I'm really proud of those 3 because for me, those are the core things in kind of closing gaps or challenges that young people are facing. And when you look at the Fit Salon, they have 6 pillars, but I'm really proud of 3. One, which is access to finance. Before this time, it was very hard for young people in Syria, especially women and youth, to get access to finance. There was a whole lot of barriers that were limiting young people accessing finance. But then currently, we have a government that is not only providing funds for them, but is also providing insurance for women and young people. So this is something that we have never seen, and this is something that is actually currently working. And secondly, we have the Ministry of Youth, who are prioritizing agriculture, especially young people in agriculture. So they have the Youth in Agriculture project, wherein they give young people free land, free money, basically, so that they can go and farm, not only in like rice production or corns or all these things, but also in aquaponics. So this is the first time that we're seeing these kind of innovations or this kind of technology that is being led by ministries and is being supported by development partners like UNDP. And we're seeing that, for example, UNDP has an accelerator lab that they're incubating ideas ranging from agriculture, ranging from technologies, practices, basically. And we are seeing them giving young people money. So the barriers might be there, but yes, 1, we have the access, which was missing before, and 2, we currently have the funds and the finance, which young people can easily go and access. And another thing again that, like I said, I'm really proud of for the Fit Salon flagship program is AgTech and climate smart solutions in agriculture. So we have seen, we now have the Ministry of Innovation and in Sierra Leone basically, and for the first time in Sierra Leone, we are seeing drones in agriculture. And we have a drone corner in Sierra Leone wherein it basically delivers agricultural produce. So these are all emerging technologies that are there in agriculture, and these are led by young people. So we have a population, for those of you who don't know, Sierra Leone has a population of 70% that are of young people. So basically young people they are the ones that are leading. In governance currently, we currently have the youngest minister in Africa, basically. So this is telling you that young people are not only leading, but they are serving. They are serving the continent. They are serving their country. They are serving the people that they work for, and these are things that I'm really proud of. So, in as much as yes, there are gaps, there are challenges. These are things that I know personally, but yes, I'm seeing improvement in terms of access to finance, capacity building. So all these things I'm actually seeing, and all these things are currently happening in Sierra Leone. So for me, I personally believe that the gaps might be there. There are always going to be problems. There are always going to be challenges. But what I'm seeing, the trend that I'm seeing is in the midst of these challenges, there are solutions that governments are providing for young people. So these are things that I'm really, really, really proud of.
Thank you so much, Awa. Indeed, there will always be problems, but then we have to complain with solutions. We are looking at government support, and then after this, we will try to round up and open questions for the audience. Martin, you've done so much in the agri-food sector. Let's go away from maybe examples. What are the interventions you would like to see? We know the government is doing a lot. They have prioritized agriculture. But what models, what intervention you would like to see so scale up the role of young people in agriculture?
Yeah, thank you very much, Mr. Moderator. And what are the role and skills that we want the government to what are the roles and skills that we want the government to do, especially and for young entrepreneurs around the world, and for them to and do a capacity building programs, and also for them to have a lot of and give the entrepreneurs and resource, financial resource, so that they can scale up their businesses, and also for them to know that the entrepreneurs the entrepreneurs that they are working with, they can benefit their society and also increase their income. Thank you.
We are going to round up shortly and allow questions, but we've talked about the role of young people in agriculture. We've talked about leveraging technologies. Let's round this up now with overcoming resource challenges. I like when you mention, how I will start with you here. I like when you mention the issue of access to finance. We know this is one of the major issues. Can you share with this room, what do you think, what are the challenges farmers face in accessing resources and markets, and how do you think we can overcome this?
I think one of the things that is really missing in Africa is when it comes to agriculture, we think that it's a poor man's job. So I don't know if that's true. I mean, can we just wave if you think that's true in our schools, in our communities? When you see a farmer, you say this person is poor, like it's a poor man's job. So the education is missing, right? We think that if I go into farming or basically if I go into agriculture, I'm not going to be rich. But what we're missing is agriculture is the richest richest sector that is in a growing sector in Africa. So there is definitely money there, and there is definitely opportunities there. And again, one of the things that it is really missing is it starts from the school. In primary school, when I was in primary school, we had a school garden wherein I learned a lot about agriculture, wherein we had farms. And then, so I grew up in the provinces, and one of the things that I normally see is there is backyard farming, right? So these are all things that currently it is missing. So one of the things that we should really try to do is we should try again as much as possible to increase that knowledge in agriculture for Africa, and to see how we can be able to leverage on that knowledge and build the skills that we need. In terms of farmers, basically, one of the things that we should do is capacity building, right? So I think that's, again, is a great example of what the Ministry of Agriculture is doing in Sierra Leone. So they're not only providing people with finance to go into agriculture, they are also providing them with the capacity or the knowledge, basically, to build on that finance that they're giving them. And we have seen the same thing with the youth ministry. So they're not just giving them money. I know young people, one of the things that we are finding it very difficult to do is financial literacy. So they are providing financial literacy, but also agricultural literacy. So these young people that they are giving the lands, that they are giving the finance, that they're giving the money, that they're giving the seeds. So for example, they tell you when to grow rice, or rather when to grow pepper, because we have different seasons, we have different changes. So these are all things that we're currently seeing. And also we're seeing farmers connecting with each other through the district. So for example, in Sierra Leone now, if you are in Bo, or if you are in Kenema, if you are in Kailaun, the government have provided smartphones for farmers, basically, to share their produce with their buyers, basically, or to share opportunities or resources with other farmers. So these are all the things that we're seeing that are happening in the agricultural sector. And with this trend, basically, and we're also seeing how development partners are coming in to really support the initiative of the government. So it's not only the government that is doing this initiative, but also from the private sector as well, from NGO organizations as well. So we are seeing all these things that are happening. So it's not just giving the finance, but also providing capacity building, providing education, providing tools,
Thank you so much.
providing those resources that can be available to the farmers.
Thank you so much. I want us to give her a round of applause. She made one unique statement that I want us to take home. Of course, that was a collective perspective that we see agriculture like a poor man's job. You see a farmer, you think it's a poor man's job. But one of the takeaway from this room is that agriculture is not a poor man's job. It is the biggest tool that we can leverage to feed our continent, to provide jobs, and to ensure we achieve sustainable development goal 2, ending hunger in all its forms. Let's give her a round of applause for that. Usman, now we are rounding up. We want to send the chance for the audience to ask questions. I just want you to go directly. What are the challenges in terms of accessing resources for farmers, specifically young people?
Okay, thank you very much. Africa need to answer this question and very fast. We need to answer that question fast. Why? I will also start by answering that question with another question. Africans, what if we wake up one morning just to realize that Europe no more export food for us? What if we wake up one morning, you go to the market, and there is no European rice to buy? What will we eat? Nothing? So this is the right time we answer that question. There should not be any barriers to access opportunities for farmers. There should not be no barriers. Like Ms. Howard said, agriculture has been seen like for puppet or old people. Why? Because it was not sexy. But people forget to know that even when you go to the hospital, the first thing the doctor will ask you is what? Have you eaten? So why are we not prioritizing agriculture? Why are we not putting the finance there? Why are we not making the farmer the king? And before everyone came here, we ate. And I can bite you if you didn't take breakfast. I can bite you, your stomach is disturbing you right now. So I'm just trying to show how important we should take agriculture and prioritize it and remove, if possible, all the barriers. There should not be any excuse, more particularly in producing food for us. Because if there is no food, there is no government. If there is no food, there is no people. If there is no food, there is no infrastructure. If there is no food, there is no education. If there is no food, there is no agencies. If there is no food, there is no youth connect.
This is massive. This is a massive closing from Usman. All right? He said something that we need to make agriculture sexy. Let's take this home. Let's raise our hands and promise to make agriculture sexy. Let's commit to make agriculture sexy. If there is no food, there will be no youth connect.
Yes.
If there is no food, there will be no education. Our government in 2018 prioritized education, human capital development. But in its second term, it has moved from that agenda to now feeding Sierra Leone. Because you cannot go to school if you are hungry. So it must be prioritized. We must make agriculture sexy. Quickly, Martin, this will be the last one. Then we open the floor now for the audience to ask questions. I want you to go specific, Martin.
Yes.
I want the development partners to take this from us. How? What are the challenges in accessing resources, especially for young farmers? And how do you think we can overcome this?
Yeah, thank you very much, Mr. Moderator. And the access to and finance is a challenge in, especially.
Your voice.
Yeah, the access to and finance is a challenge in Africa for young entrepreneurs because some organization give fund to entrepreneurs, but some organizations do not give fund. But how to leverage how to come with the initiative for the entrepreneurs to have the finance, and also the challenge is access Because if you have the idea, you have the knowledge, without finance, it cannot work well. Because having the knowledge, having the skill to develop, if you do not have fund, is not a good thing. Especially and I want to thank again the UNDP Accelerator Lab and also our government. They are really trying for us, especially some of the entrepreneurs in Sierra Leone, to have some resources. Because having resource can boost your production capacity for your production to scale up. So you can have a lot of potential and customers. So to assess and to know that if you have funding, it will be available to you to scale your production. Thank you.
I think the sessions and responses have been very educative and insightful. We will now open the floor for Q&A. I will encourage you to take notes of the questions. Please, when you are asking the question, your name, where you are from, and then your specific question, who you are tailoring your question to.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Peace Grace. I'm from Liberia. So my question is a general question, so anybody can answer. But in all of the sessions I've been in, this is something I've noticed, and it's a question I've wanted to always ask, especially when it comes to innovation. Let me first of all applaud the government of Sierra Leone for what they're doing. One thing that I really like is the fact that we're putting education into this, and it's really a path I see that most African countries are on. I can attest to that, as my government also launched like a $1 billion scholarship fund for people to support students in agriculture, AI development, and technology. So this is definitely something not for Sierra Leone alone. We're all on the path. Now, mostly when it comes to innovation and technology, we're all very proud when we hear things like you developing something that will be your game changer at that young of an age, at 14, at 17, is a big thing. But one thing about people in Africa believing is it takes a community for people to believe in something. So my question is, what are the skills that were around you, not your own? You developed the technology, you innovated, but I'm sure you needed a community, you needed a team. What were those even professional knowledge, maybe somebody skilled in technology or somebody skilled in marketing or other skills that surrounded you and helped you to be recognized at this level? Because even if you started creating something in your room, I'm sure you never had the vision that you were going to reach this stage at the age of 14 or 17. So who are those people around you, those skills that are required around you for you to reach this level?
Thank you. Thank you very much. Yeah, we will note down the questions, and then let's have three questions.
Hello everyone, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Zuleika Shinebo from Sudan. I'm so happy to be here with you. And I have a question. In Youth Connect Africa, how we can support youth to love to participate in agriculture program like agro training hubs. How we let people love the agriculture. All of us, the youth in the recent century, we love technology. We go away from agriculture. How we bring people and youth to come to increase the capacity of the old culture. Like in Sudan, we have many sectors in agriculture, and we have many green land. We have many farmers in all countries in Africa. So my question to you, what we can do to collect people in agricultural sector? Thank you.
Thank you so much. We note that question.
Hello, everyone.
Hello.
My name is Chirezi Clarice. I'm a Rwandan ready, the beautiful, the country of thousand hills. I would like to ask about technology, basically on robotics. In Rwanda, as well as in Africa, they have a gap in technology. And last time when I was at school, in secondary school, I participate in robotic team at the informal school, of course, as I said below. And I discovered that the power of technology in addressing the world problems, as well to develop economy, and therefore we decided to start technology education in Rwanda, basically forming from to the young generation, of course. And however, it looks as difficult due to the lack of funds, despite availability of skills and ambition. We need your advice and support in this journey to make our shared vision of Rwandan raised income true. I hope I understand it.
Thank you. Thank you so much. We will allow our panelists to answer these questions, and then we take the final rounds of questions. So our the first question is from one of the leaders, young leaders from Liberia. She asked that what were the professional tools that surrounded you or that helped you to develop that technology from the age of 14?
For me, I think one of the things that really helped me was my community and the people around me. So who were those people that were around me? One was UNDP. When I won the Social Good Summit Award, you had to go through their incubator accelerator program. And basically, I would reach out to the youth specialist. I don't know if he's still there, Aki. And I would just basically send him a bunch of questions, asking him for resources and all those things. And he was always willing to respond to me. And then the second one is the Ministry of Youth. So the ministry actually played a great role in my skills, basically, and where I am today. So these were like the people that were around me. So the minister, I was in Kenema, I was not in Freetown. He went all the way in Kenema to look for me because of the idea that I did was exceptional, and he wanted to see how he can support. So he was also someone that really played a key role in developing my skills or really shaping who I am today as an innovator, as a youth leader. And for my community, basically, I had my parents, I had my school, I had other young people, and this made me, like I said, I now run an innovation center that is owned by youth and that is led by youth. So I'm not the only one that is doing it. I have a collective of young people around me that can contribute to the vision that I have, and also I can contribute to their vision. So it's very important for us to use the little resources or even human resources around us so that we can develop and build our skills. I didn't go looking for money, honestly, because if I had went to look for money, they would not have given me. I was 14. Who would give a 14-year-old $30,000? Or even $50,000, or even $10,000. No, I didn't have the financial literacy. But what I had was the human resources, advisors, people that will advise me on how to put my skills in good use and look at where I am today. So, yeah.
Thank you so much. Usman, the second question from the leader from Sudan, the young leader from Sudan, she asked the question that how can we bring young people to maximize their potential for us as a continent to achieve food self-sufficiency?
Okay, thank you very much, Mr. Moderator. I think it connected with the first question, and I will start with a quote. If you want to go fast, go alone. But if you want to go far, go with others. What does this mean? It's a collective effort. No man is an island. Let's say we come to Rwanda, and there were no conventional center, no Kigali Conventional Center, right? KCC. Where Youth Connect will have been held? Nowhere. Okay, let's say there is conventional center, but there is no hotel. Would the Youth Connect hold? No, youth wouldn't have hold. Okay, let's say there are hotels and there is KCC. What if there is no restaurant? Will the Youth Connect hold? No. Okay, let's say there is restaurants, there is KCC, and there is hotels. What if there were no electricity distribution? It's the power system. Will Youth Connect hold? No. So you see, it's a kind of interconnected effort in everything you do. We work as a team of 5. When we started, we were 30. Some had to, go on some personal route and things like that. Some started working on personal things and things like that. And today, we are just 4. He's one of the team members. And I can tell you, among these 4, we started by making prototypes, small things. We go to exhibition and things like that. GIZ was there to, promote certain things for us. Today, all these prototypes have become companies that have employed over thousands of people. So you need a large network of people. And let me go to your question, how can we bring my young people into this? First, for me, I think it's one of the barriers actually into agriculture or technologies. Like, how can we replicate? How can we transfer? Let's have that thing of knowledge transfer. How can we have that knowledge transfer? Hands-on practical. Let's say we have an intern. Hey, University of this. There is a center, there is a model center where young people are doing farming. We need 10 volunteers. Let the government support them. Like there's a model in Benin Songhai. Countries are sending participants to go and learn, modern practices of agriculture. Let's have that kind of model where we have our government, private sectors supporting young people to be part of this initiative. And most of the barriers, again, which is very key, is the issue of collateral and things like that for farmers.
Thank you so much, Usman. The session is 9:30 to 11. It's almost 11, but we promise you we will not go beyond 10 after 11. This is to give further opportunity. You've done something good for me. I think you've combined both questions, the last 2 questions. So we will take the last round of questions, maybe from this end, and then we try to wrap up as we need to work within time. There is a young leader in the middle there. Yeah.
Thank you. I just want to ask a question. In your experience, tell me in your experience, how can you overcome barrier to implement irrigation so that we can reduce depending on rainfall? Thank you. How can we implement, can you tell us how can we, as Africans youth, how can we overcome financial barrier to implement irrigation and reduce dependence on rainfall? Thank you.
Okay, good morning, everyone. My name is Elvis Kadama from Uganda, co-founder and CEO at Izamat Africa. We connect smallholder farmers to seeds and fertilizers through e-commerce platform. My question is a general question to all panelists. There are 2 questions. Why do you think it's very hard for youth innovators in Africa to access funding? And the last question is, we have, many youth have come up with agro innovations, but face challenges with government tax bodies before even they launch fully their solutions to the market. And this is killing many innovations to be launched because the government immediately, you register the innovation with the tax body, they start putting a lot of taxes on you. And so what strategies do you think would be put in place by the governments to encourage young innovators to develop their innovations at a certain level before they start levying taxes to them? Thank you very much.
Good morning. My name is Said from UNDP. I like the question from the member there about the issue of rain feed agriculture and irrigation, and how do we access finance to ensure water supply for agriculture. I also want to add another very historic problem with the, you use the word making agriculture sexy. I will use the word attractive for people. But there is a global trend that goes against the agriculture sector, and that is urbanization, right? There is global move that people want to come from rural areas to the urban. And as long as you come to the urban, obviously you're not going to cultivate. And if you take the example of Sierra Leone alone, and if my numbers are correct, there are 1,200,000 young people who are bike riders, and most of them actually come to Freetown for seeking job, right? And all of them can be a very good farmer. So the question is, how do you prevent extra urbanization so the young people can stay in the rural area to focus on agriculture?
So thank you so much. I am Amadou from the Republic of Guinea, and it is very interesting to hear stories from the young people and harnessing technologies and developing agriculture. I think that your stories must be heard, because when we give example, when the young people see the example, it is more interesting than the word or the promises from our government. I think that your stories must be shared. I have an opinion about agriculture. I think that we cannot solve the problem of agriculture if we do not have data. Data about the need of agriculture, data about the potential of agriculture, and data about the available resources, the available, the total investment from the country, from the government, from the partners. I think that we need to have portals where we can have this data. And the most important, my question is, I think that in our countries, we are trying to develop agriculture, but the industries in our countries need to be feeded. But most of the time, they are importing raw material. But we have raw material. The problem is, how do we have industrial agriculture? Are we producing enough to feed those industries? Do we have a distribution channel that can collect the raw material available in the country? So the question is, how young people can industrialize the ecosystem of agriculture. Thank you.
Don't worry, I've just been nudged by the leadership that we have like 20 minutes.
Good morning, team. My name is Matilda Nakagolo, coming from Uganda. And I have a question, but it's kind of connected to all what has been said. Its background is from what one of the panelists said, that a farmer is looked at as a poor man's job. Then the previous speaker also said, we have youths that are leaving the village and coming to town to look for jobs. So my question is, how can we support the youths? Firstly, not to look at farming as a poor man's job, but also secondly, as we support them to stay in the villages to do the farming, one of the situations I look at critically back from my country is a farmer will do the real job of farming, but then we have middlemen that come in, and these end up earning more than the real farmer. Going back to the question that was raised about how can we support farmers to access resources. So you're looking at a farmer who is doing the real job, but they are actually not earning from what they are doing like they should, and they are not able to reinvest and make this thing big. And over time, it biases the youths that look at the farmers because they will keep looking at it as a poor man's job. So how can we support the current farmers, firstly, for it to be attractive to the youths, but also how can we connect them to become to the final buyers? Because this really helps to give them more income so they can reinvest. Thank you.
Hello, everyone. I'm from Liberia. My name is Fena Christy Cooper, and I'm a young farmer. Let me tell a story, right? When I was in high school, and everybody asked me, who you want to be, who you want to be. I said, okay, I want to be a farmer. They laughed at me. Said, why? I said, because I love it. Although it's dirty, but I love it. They said, why? Even my teachers on the campus were like, no, change that, change that, change that, change that. So my question is, how can you help, right, the young farmer in high school to show that they can be a farmer no matter what? Because I think one thing that's stopping my country, Liberia, right, is the lack of resources, the lack of the mindset. You have to change the mindset of people about farmers, because a lot of people think if you are farmers, it means you are very poor, it means you will be dirty, it means you will be stupid. So how can we help young farmers in high school for them to see that they can be something, that farmers are respected in society? So how can we see that? Please.
Thank you very much. The questions are very, very insightful. We will now allow our panelists to answer the questions. At the end, even if you don't have the opportunity to ask your question, we are here to also partner and collaborate. You can connect with them via LinkedIn, make relationship, so that at least you have young leaders from other countries that you can work with and share ideas. So, Usman, there is one important question. Somebody asked, a young leader asked about climate-smart agriculture. So I would want you to answer that. And then Awayuki will look at the issue of controlling urbanization to help young people.
Okay. Thank you all the participants for your amazing questions. Those questions were actually triggering my brain. Actually, all your questions have highlighted actually what's happening in Africa in the food sector. Those are the challenges actually. I will start with the young man about how can we make irrigation system, to become, accessible in Africa. I think I will answer that question by saying, even the government, it's a challenge for them to access finance. My government need $158 million to achieve the Feed Sierra Leone. And one of the main things to achieve that is irrigation system. They have brought over 3 different companies from China, Germany, to install irrigation system. And they give huge budget, over 50, 70, $80 million for just a 100-acre irrigation system. And how can a smallholder farmer afford that? They can't. These are people that live on less than $1 a day. You tell them to buy $1 million worth of irrigation system, they can't. So how I think we should solve that is, one, the government need to make the agriculture system as an investment. Okay, if the farmers can't install it, fine. But you as the government, can you have 1,000 acres of land and supply your country food? Because you have access to the agencies, you have access to the donors, World Bank and all that. We, the young farmers, don't have access to World Bank and things like that. In fact, the money comes with, bureaucracies and things like that, criteria that you as an individual cannot access. But World Bank have more than $80 billion for agriculture. You as government can access that. So I think the governments need to be at the core, together with the agencies, to make agriculture an investment. And it will also answer the question from Deputy Resident Representative. First, what we do, yes, the government has launched a national thing to feed the nation. Where should we start? Let's feed our village. Start by feeding your village, your town. And who should do that? The young people. Government should come and say, yo, look, you as the paramount chief or whosoever in this region, you should not import any bag of rice here. By this year, this time, this village should feed itself. What do you need? We need a tractor. Okay, yeah, fine. Here is 2 tractors. What do you need else? We need $100,000. Here is $100,000. I don't want to see a single bag of rice imported into this village. After achieving feed the village, who are you going to use to make sure you achieve that? Every sector, every village, every community has its own opportunity. There are villages that have good soil for rice. There are villages that are good in what? Livestock. There are villages that are good in what? Vegetables. Support them on that. Use the stakeholders, support the stakeholders, and start helping the young people where they are. Create the job. Make it relevant. You said the young people are leaving the village to the urban to look for a job. Because there is no job. So how can we make the agriculture a job from the village? Like, okay, let's say we are going to cultivate 100 acres in this village, and we are not going to bring anybody. This is one of the mistakes they do. When they want to bring a project in the village, they bring the experts and laborers and whosoever from the urban. Use the people in the village to solve their own problem. So when we achieve feed your village, we achieve feed your district, and then we can achieve a feed your country. So it's a connected thing. So along the line, you impact the young people. They will not come to the urban city. Most of them are there. They can't even earn $1 a day. Bag of rice was $20. 2014 in my country. Do you know how much it costs now? It's getting to $200. And I told people, look, a bag of rice will get to $1,000. And people say, hey, you don't talk good things. You don't like this country. Why are you saying this? You are hard-hearted. Why do you want us to buy a bag of rice 50 kg at $1,000? I said, look, it's not a magic. If we are not growing it, if we are not prioritizing this thing, a bag of rice can even get to $1 million. Because you are not in control. Someone is importing it. They can give you any price. So the first thing we should do is government should look at agriculture as an investment. And we should not joke about it. We should make sure that we have industries in all of these districts. And
thank you so much.
Welcome.
You deserve a round of applause. That's a huge energy and then solutions coming from the room. And what I really like is the fact that the development partners are here listening. The ministers of youth, leaders from other countries are here listening. However, you've listened to the question. There is a question on how can we control agriculture to ensure that people don't move to urban cities and do informal work. There is a question on how can we ensure we attract young people to make it attractive for young people. So share your responses with the audience.
Thank you so much. I think one of the reasons why we're having a lot of young people move from the provinces to the cities is because the cities has all the opportunities. If you look at currently, UNDP is building an accelerator lab. Where are they building that? In Freetown, which is a city. They're not building it in Kenema. They're not building it in Bow. Where are the pitch events happening? In the city. Where are the big universities? It's in the cities, right? So you find out that all the big opportunities are in the cities. Irrespective of the fact that most of these opportunities are being sent to the provinces. But someone would prefer to leave the provinces to come to the city, not for agricultural purposes, basically. They will not think about that. So maybe where we should start is maybe start building mini agri-hubs in the provinces that only focus on agriculture for young people. These hubs that provide information, that provide access to resources. So I cannot be in the provinces and come all the way to Freetown if I want to have an access to information. And another thing again, agri education, it's very, very important because right from our high school, right from the schools, they tell us that agriculture is for the poor man, or it's a poor man's job. So maybe we start having that conversation around the importance of agriculture in high schools. We start kind of building incentive that promote competitions among high school students in agriculture. I grew up in the provinces. My school, we had that. We had we had a day wherein all the agricultural produce that we grow in the schools, we cook and we eat. It shows the importance of agriculture. So maybe we should start doing that. And also maybe we should start making agriculture compulsory in all the schools, all the high schools, in all communities basically. And maybe those are the places that we can start. The education is what is missing, I can tell you for a fact. People that know the importance of agriculture, people that is more likely people that have studied it, or people that have traveled outside of the country or their respective countries. So maybe we should start about educating our young people about the importance of agriculture. And you find out that most of the people that are in the agricultural sector, these are people that are not even educated.
All right.
So how can we ensure that these people are educated? How can we ensure that we provide trainings, that will provide resources to these people, to the young people that are living in the provinces? How can we make the provinces more attractive for agricultural purposes, so that young people cannot live in the provinces and come to Freetown?
Thank you
so much. And then if you find out that, one more point, please. Yeah. If you find out that all the things that are grown, things that are grown are from the provinces, they're not from Freetown. So how can we ensure, I mean, this is a question that is going back to the government and to the development partners. How can we ensure that we provide incentives that are attractive to young people that are in the provinces?
Thank you so much. Martin, you've also had a question. There was a very insightful contribution from the young leader from Guinea who talked about data. They need to leverage data and then to ensure we maximize the agricultural potential of young people. What would you say as part of your closing?
Yeah, thank you very much, and Mr. Moderator. And what I want to say is that for the young entrepreneurs, for them to leverage technology, and especially the government should come with a specific digital centers in the rural areas where they can put farmers training, so that farmers can have trainings, and also young entrepreneurs that are coming up, and also young youth that are coming, for them to have access to the digital centers in the rural areas. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Honestly, this is a very, very educative session for all of us, from government, from development partners, welcoming young entrepreneurs in the room. Our only challenge is time. But like I said, one of the best tools you can take away from this conference is your network. We have a common saying in our country that your net worth is your network. That means in this room, you have a net worth that you can leverage. Make friends, connect with young leaders, young entrepreneurs from Southern, Northern, Western, Central Africa, so that tomorrow, when you want to go to Kenya, you have a young entrepreneur, you can message via LinkedIn that I am coming, I want partnership. So that tomorrow, when you want to go to South Africa, you have a member of a development partner in South Africa that you can message. Don't come to this conference and return without having a minimum of 50 networks from every nook and cranny of this continent. So this session has been a very powerful one. The one that is geared towards addressing Sustainable Development Goal 2, ending hunger in all its forms. The one to help us ensure we achieve any other development priority. You can only be educated. You can only ensure you end poverty in all its forms. You enhance gender equality. You reduce inequality. You fight climate change. You can only ensure we partner and develop if we achieve Sustainable Development Goals 2. And to summarize, a fundamental thing that this panel, this session shared here, is one, collaboration. And how do we collaborate? We need to be humble to reach out. You asked a significant question to Hawa, that what surrounded her, what provided her with the tools. But it was not only about what surrounded her, but it was the fact that she was humble to reach out. We have to be humble. Young leaders, we have to be humble. This is a takeaway. Humble to reach out. Humble to make networks. Humble to learn. Go to the ministries of youth in your country and ask for opportunities for agriculture. Go to UNDP. Go to UNICEF. Go to SOS. Go online. There are professional platforms that you can leverage. I am an example. Undergraduate, I secured a grant in it because I went to the education sector fighting for an opportunity to get scholarship. Master's level, I applied for the Commonwealth Scholarship in the UK. I applied over 3 times. I did not succeed. And later, finally, I succeeded. I went to the UK and pursued my master. I came back to my country and started as a volunteer, as a teacher. And then what happened? I applied again for the Mandela Washington Fellowship Program. I succeeded. Today, I am one of the youngest members of parliament in my country, working very hard to ensure I support young people. This is a catalyst. I am sharing this story to inspire you. If she can design a technology at the age of 14 to help address development gap in our country, you can do anything. Let us complain with solutions. Let us make agriculture attractive. I want to request one more time for you to give a standing ovation to these young innovators, and then let us have what we call the young agriculture selfie in this room. So, Mr. Minister, I want you to lead the selfie. We are going to have a young agriculture Africa selfie in this room. I want us to just stay where we are and raise our hands that we are committed to make agriculture attractive, that we are committed to make agriculture sexy, and go with a commitment from this room that we will not only complain, but we will complain with solutions. Mr. Minister, please join us. This will be a very popular selfie that let us please stand up. Just raise our hands. It's a commitment to ensure we all participate in the drive towards enhancing food security for Africa. Let's come behind the keynote speaker. This, try as best as possible to capture the... Let's just raise our hands as a commitment to food security for our continent. 1, 2, 3. Let's make agriculture attractive. We are committed to provide solutions. Thank you so much. This is beautiful. God bless you.
Last one. If I say feed, you say Africa. Feed. Africa. Feed. Africa. Feed. Africa. When? Now. I like that one. No time. Now. We must feed. And the agency should provide what? They support. The agency should what? They should provide what? And it should not be any small support. If you're supporting someone, support them.
You are welcome.
Let's have it one at a time.
Thank you so much. Session was very amazing. So we are going to have another session